KP in the house. You already know how to bounce.
It's Disney Detonation coming at you from the Transportive Content Fair Use Studios in New Jersey, and I'm your host. And today is a Kalo Palo Parlo vlog. Let's move along. Okay, so this vlog's background is the Kingston Mill outside of Princeton. I'm standing on the Kingston Bridge that was built in 1798. It was built to replace the one demolished by the Continental Army to prevent the British pursuit of the Continental Army. I thought this was a pretty interesting picture. I thought it was a nice scene to put in the background this time. So let's move on. So I want to thank Mr. Troll Patrol, the Troll Patrol channel. He gave me a shout out a couple days ago and upped my subscribership by like 50 to 75 subscribers. So welcome all you Troll Patrol people. I hope I can give you the level of entertainment that the Troll Patrol guy does, but don't hold your breath. I'm not as talented or as motivated as Mr. Troll Patrol. So he set the bar pretty high. So if I don't hit that bar, I apologize ahead of time. All right, so the next segment is
the Detonation comment of the week.
Okay, it's actually 3 comments. The first 2 are kind of like fluff. This is Shirley Brewer 9821 who commented on my channel. She says, "Don't you have anything better to do than to bash other vloggers?" No, Shirley, I do not have anything better to do. This is what I do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's all I can think about. But thank you for asking. And then she goes on, you won't get far doing this. Well, I don't plan on being Mr. Beast, Shirley. I mean, initially, my thought was I wanted to see how fast I could, if I could get to 1,000 subscribers. And I certainly haven't put out the content to kind of push that algorithm on YouTube. So who knows if and when I'll ever get there, but thanks for asking. Okay, so the next comment was on Mr. KP's channel, and this is from his Nosebleed vlog, which was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Michael Hernandez, 5384, says, "I'd be more embarrassed vlogging than bleeding out." And of course, Mr. KP has no real comeback. It's just awesome with a emoji smiley face with sunglasses. So this is what I thought was funny in all of this. Amy Moore 5509, this is one of the people that come, these are the types of people that come to his defense, more or less. "Are you one of the ones that are jealous because he was blessed to get a place in Celebrations?" Well, Amy, I'm not exactly sure where Celebrations is, but I do know where Celebration is. So we have that. And then she goes on to say, "Dude, being kind is free, and apparently being a complete moron is also free." All right, so this was the actual comment that I really wanted to talk about. So one of the things that I find interesting about Mr. KP and his channel are the people that come to his defense consistently. And one of the things I like to do is I like to go on, you click on the icon or their avatar and it takes you to their channel. And a lot of times there's really nothing there. You'll see what they subscribe to, blah, blah, blah. But then on occasion, you'll find someone that has a video. So let me just get into this here. Chris with the Cam states, "Kyle, I'm a pretty long time supporter of you, man, but if you don't learn how to do basic house maintenance without your dad having to come down and put him to work, you're going to have an emergency home repair, and you're either not going to be able to know how to do it and pay tons of money for someone to do it fast, or try it yourself and really mess it up. You've got to learn how at least to do basic stuff like hang a towel rack or change a light fixture." Now, I didn't think this was that bad of a statement. And of course, this guy's Mark Watson has to come in. I hate to see people shaming Kyle because he isn't knowledgeable in home maintenance. Not everyone wants to do that kind of work. I mean, hang a towel rack, change a light fixture. And this is the person that I'm going to show you a video from this person's channel, the Seasons Home Splendor. Sometimes you need help. I need help with my place. Does that make me a bad person? Now, interestingly enough, so I went on this person's channel and she had a video. Obviously, she's a JoJo supporter or watcher. And she had a video entitled Sorry JoJo. Now, her video went 9 minutes. And I took bits and pieces of it. There was long pauses between things. I think I got this down to 1 minute and 10 seconds. But this is just an example of when you go around and you give out an address, you start begging for money, you never know who is on the other end of giving you gift cards, joining these, these buy me a cup of coffee garbage. So let me just play this. This is called Sorry Jojo.
I wrote you a 2-page letter, which you read. You didn't thank me for the letter. You didn't tell me anything about the letter. You could have. You probably threw it in the garbage with the rest of my stuff. I'm like my gift card or the birthday card. I know you're not following me on Instagram like I asked you if you would. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay for my home. Money's tight. I don't know if I'm going to quit working and find some place new to go work out. I don't know. But what I do know is I am not going to give you any money so you can go on a cruise, or you can go on a plane and go to Dubai or Tokyo or Europe or Paris or wherever.
All right, so let's move on. So one of the things that Mr. KP does over and over again is try to tell everyone what a business oriented person he is.
My trips are, I have like a business mentality.
And what was interesting to me is over and over again, people in my comment section are constantly telling me, the more that you watch this guy, the more you're feeding the beast, in the sense that all of his vlogs are ratioed, meaning he's got more dislikes to likes. And of course you can't see that on YouTube. And recently I decided, well, maybe I'll take a look to see exactly what these people are talking about. And my God, are they right? So there's many different ways to see what the likes and dislikes are, the ratio between the two. I found this website, there's a bunch of them out there, and I saw his ratio anywhere from 60 to 70%. So for somebody who's calling himself a business person, wouldn't this be alarming to you that people are more than half of your subscribers, more than half of the people that have decided to comment or to at least, take the time to give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down, do not like your content? And then I threw Jojo in there, and he doesn't get the amount of views and the amount of attention, but he certainly doesn't get the ridiculous ratio, 60% dislikes to likes. So I thought that was interesting, and of course, Mr. KP's response to most of these things is,
no one's forcing you to stay here.
Yeah, so we'll get into that later. So then this next clip is called Genie plus stupidity equals KP.
I almost bought Genie Plus today, and I really feel like that would have been a mistake. Disney, please update us with the future of going to the parks. Disney, please update us with the future of going to the parks.
So basically, I don't know if most of you know what Genie Plus is. It's the fast pass system that Disney has to get on their rides. And from my understanding, you used to have to buy it at 7 o'clock in the morning, but now you can buy it at 12 o'clock, the day of, and then you can start booking your rides at 7 a.m. So what is he even saying here? He wants Disney to tell you whether or not to buy
the parks. Disney, please update us with the future of going to the parks.
What does that even mean? You
making selections before you go to the park, because it's kind of hard to judge on days like today. You would have thought it would have been worth the money, but I feel like it would have been a waste of money. Even $40 today.
Yeah, per person.
Per person. I mean, it's always a good thing to get Genie, but there's some days you don't need it. You would have thought it would have been worth the money, but I feel like it would have been a waste of money.
It's always a good thing to get Genie, but some days it's not worth it. I mean, does everything come out of his mouth contradict itself? It's freaking amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, so the next clip is a fairy tale nosebleed. Now, I found this particularly interesting because he's more embarrassed about having a nosebleed than walking around in a Packer pajama onesie. I mean, it's quite spectacular. And then he goes on to say that he's more embarrassed having a nosebleed than him recording himself. Now, keep in mind, this guy's the lens that he has alone on his camera is 18 ounces. He's carrying he's got 2 pounds of gear in his hand every time he's recording himself. All right, so let's get into this. It's called Fairy Tale Nosebleed.
I don't know what happened on this cruise, but this whole side of my nose hurts so incredibly bad. I feel like I broke my nose somehow.
I mean, have you had anyone who has broken their nose? It's not you broke your nose while you were sleeping.
Oh, sleeping. I gotta tell you guys about what happened.
I gotta hear that
The
again.
whole side of my nose hurts so incredibly bad. I feel like I broke my nose somehow while I was sleeping. I gotta tell you guys
There's somebody who's never been punched in the face before.
about what happened this morning, because it hasn't happened to me in forever or ever. On this whole side absolutely just burns and hurts so bad. I had a pretty embarrassing accident when I was getting off the cruise ship. So I got in line and it's quiet and I'm just going like this, itching my face, itching my nose. And the next thing I know I am dripping blood. Holy cow, this is so embarrassing. I don't know what to do. I don't get bloody noses, so I knew it wasn't a bloody nose.
He's got a bloody nose, but he doesn't get bloody noses.
Sitting there on the floor like this, kind of oh, this is so embarrassing. People are staring. Never had that happen before, and it was embarrassing, but see me just dripping blood. It was bad. It wasn't bad, but it's just embarrassing. I don't really like when people are staring at me when stuff like that happens. I can take it when people are staring at me when I'm vlogging.
The doctor said I wouldn't have so many nosebleeds if I kept my finger out of there.
I mean, keep in mind this explanation of his nosebleed went on for 5 minutes. It's just, you talk about compelling content. No wonder why he's getting ratioed. Okay, so the next clip is called Health Insurance Problems. Now, I thought this was particularly interesting because he starts out by saying he's not going to complain and then does nothing but complain. So and then I'll talk about this at the end also. So let's get into it. Health insurance problems.
I kind of want to talk more about my insurance. I feel like every time I bring this up, some of you guys think that I'm complaining. I've had the same insurance, which obviously keeps going up. So I'm kind of in a battle right now with my insurance company that my doctor supposedly didn't file my medication properly. And it's been an ongoing battle. I'm like, hey, this isn't my fault. It's my doctor's fault.
It's not your doctor's fault. It's the billing department in your doctor's office. And why don't you get on the phone and call them, genius?
Who unfortunately filed it wrong, or I don't even know what's going on, because my doctor didn't file it properly or let my insurance know that I was getting this blood work done. And now I'm in charge of paying for $2,000 to $3,000 worth of blood work. I will say this doctor that I see, he's got 1 star. 1 star.
What a dick.
You are a straight chump and your content is garbage.
He goes on to say that this doctor badmouths his doctor, says he's got 1 star, and then records while he's in the waiting room. I mean, I would imagine if the doctor saw this vlog and saw that you were recording, I mean, granted, you didn't record any patient faces, but I mean, that's very close to breaking HIPAA rules. I mean, you don't start recording while you're in the waiting room of an endocrinologist, a doctor's office. You idiot. All right, so the next clip is fun with thumbnails, and I just want to thank Mr. KP for giving me permission to start photoshopping and making fun of his his thumbnails.
Just remember, there's more serious things in life than a YouTube thumbnail and title.
Yeah, there is more serious things in life than a YouTube title and thumbnail. I mean, have you ever seen somebody so enamored with himself? It's quite spectacular. Okay, so let's get to the clip. It's called Fun with Thumbnails.
Okay. Pause real quick. I gotta pause the video here real quick. Yesterday, take a deep breath. I thought it was funny. I had to do it. I saw some of those comments. I'm like, all right, finally gotta show you guys my basement. If something as much as a title and a thumbnail upset you, or my content upsets you, just no one's forcing you to stay here.
If something as much as a title and a thumbnail upset you, or my content upsets you, just no one's forcing you to stay here.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, my friend. You're gonna have to get the fuck out.
Just remember, there's more serious things in life than a YouTube thumbnail and title.
You dick!
I mean, can you imagine being lectured by this imbecile? There's more important things in life. Thank you. Any other pearls of wisdom you want to give me, you imbecile? All right, so this, I mean, it goes on and on with this idiot. So the next thing is, the next clip is called Drinking Fool.
There's plenty of bars. We've got one here, the pool bar. I think I'm gonna stop here real quick. I think this is called the Moist Bar. I actually don't know, but it's one up here. And got the Long Island, and we're about to boot up the live stream. $16 for the Long Island. No drink plan for me. You know, probably 2-3 drinks a day if I even decide to have any.
Why does he have to keep telling us how many drinks he's going to have a day? I mean, this makes no sense at all. It just draws attention to this.
And I got another Long Island. Again, 2 to 4 drinks max a day.
And by the way, a Long Island iced tea is, if you're going by the standard of ounces, is an ounce of alcohol. It's probably equivalent to 2 or 3 drinks.
On the ship, maybe probably not anything tomorrow, but we got another Long Island, which was great. We are 2 Long Islands in, and we haven't had any food for the day. Definitely gotta check this champagne bar out one of these nights. Espresso martini coming right on up. Pretty cool. There we are. Carlton knows it's real.
Yeah, baby.
Heck yeah.
Get them name tags, man.
Carlton, you're the man. Carlton's cool. Like, you guys know I'm not too much into drinking anymore. But like, espresso martinis, it's kind of like my new Long Islands. You guys know I'm not too much into drinking anymore. Just had to come to the Schooner Bar and get a toasted marshmallow old fashioned. Probably my last drink of the night or the day. Definitely my mega drink a day. We'll see how this is. There she is. Believe it or not, this is less expensive than a Long Island. You guys know I'm not too much into drinking anymore.
It's like, it's just so ridiculous. All right, so this next clip is called the KP Bunch, the YouTube family. Now, I found this particularly, I don't want to say interesting, but like off-putting, because he starts talking about how he wants to have a family, and I don't know if any of you remember his Christmas vlog where he was like, he's talking about how he wants to put his kids on YouTube. And then he goes on to say in this clip or in this vlog that it's going to be up to his kids whether or not if they're going to be on YouTube, which is completely contradictory to everything he says, because he's planning on. So basically, the kids are going to be on YouTube until they have the wherewithal to say, I don't want to be on YouTube. So here we go. The KP Bunch.
Where do I see myself in 10 years? I mean, I definitely still see myself doing YouTube. But in 10 years, probably I might be a dad. Probably in 10 years, I would probably have I would hope I'd have my first kid by then, and I'll probably be like a YouTube family. I mean, Casey knows my ambitions of what I want to do here on YouTube as far as like
his ambitions.
A YouTube family. Yeah, that's the word. YouTube family. And this is where it kind of gets tricky too. Like, you know, there's going to be a time where like my kids, they're going to make their own decision if they want to be on like a channel. I want to do this with kiddos and post it online for all to see. Like the channel, if there even is a channel, who knows what is going to happen to YouTube in 10 years. That's why I've been kind of doing like these backup plans. I don't do backup plans because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in backup plans just because I really feel like you're setting yourself up for failure in that mindset. However, 10 years, it's really kind of hard to predict, but what was I saying? Oh, my kids. Oh, my kids. You know, my kids, what? 20 years? Oh my gosh, this is insane. Like 10, 15 years old or something like that. 8, 10, I don't know.
They'll already had made a decision if they want to be on the YouTube channel. I'm not going to force them to be on the channel if they don't want to.
I want to do this with kiddos and post it online for all to see.
I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay, so the next clip is called The Ladder. Now, I thought this was hilarious. So I don't know how many of you have been following Mr. KP, but he had a vlog, I think, at Halloween time around. He needed a ladder to go and put Halloween decorations up in his apartment, and he had to go get a ladder. And he went to Publix to try to find a ladder. That's a whole other story. But it was funny because eventually he got a ladder, and he had it hanging out of his BMW. So here he's got a problem with not a dormer, but something on the side of his house, and he's talking about renting a ladder. And I'm like, I would pay good money to see this imbecile climb a 32-foot ladder by himself to try to fix something. I mean, that on itself would be the best content he could possibly come up with. Now, I just want to state that no one in this vlog was hurt, and or in this clip, it's called The Ladder.
Wait till you see Saturday's thumbnail. It's a cool one. And I also just discovered something is wrong with my house due to these winds, and I think I might need to fix it soonish. Do you guys hear that? We got a problem outside.
Now, this is the first time I've noticed it, but we've got something wrong with my gutter up there. The high breeze is making it vibrate, and I might need to like rent a ladder. Can you rent a ladder from Home Depot to fix something? Or like, can you rent a ladder from Home Depot? I think you can. That is some scary work. See that? I think that's what's loose. I don't know.
A terrifying fall off a ladder. This homeowner crashes head first onto his deck. He lays there not moving.
The girl who lives with me
Comes running outside to see what happened. Suddenly, as if it's no big deal, he gets up.
You're right. I came running as fast as I could. You need to tell me when you're going to climb ladders. And you need to put on real clothes if you're going to climb ladders. You need to tell me when you're going to climb ladders. And you need to put on real clothes if you're going to climb ladders.
I mean, if that's how I see how it would exactly go down. Him wearing flip-flops and falling down the ladder. Okay. All right. So the next clip is called KC minus cruise plus KP equals fun. Now, I thought this was crazy. So he's on this solo cruise and basically is keeps saying over and over again how it's so much more fun to be on a cruise by himself because there's no one to tell him what to do. Tell him like you'll see in this clip, tell him how many slices of pizza he can have. I mean, it almost seems to indicate that the girl who lives with him is basically his caretaker or his surrogate mommy. I mean, it's unbelievable. So let's get into it. This clip is called KC minus cruise plus KP equals fun.
To me, solo cruising is really fun because A, I'm creating content, B, it's really fun, and C, it's just fun to solo cruise. Like, it's just really kind of fun to explore the ship just by yourself, you know? Like, it's just fun. The nice aspect about solo cruising, do whatever you want, when you want. You don't have to run it by anybody. I decided I want to get pizza. So we're gonna get pizza.
Yeah, well, I was just passing by. Just passing by.
I guess the nice part about cruising solo, you have no one to tell you no. Or just be like, hey, you've had too many slices of pizza. You have to make your own choices yourself. Or just be like, hey, you've had too many slices of pizza.
Gee, is that what I look like when I'm drunk?
I mean, could you imagine? You need somebody to tell you how many slices of pizza you can have. All right, so that's it for this vlog. I put this together as fast as I could, and I didn't have as much time to prepare and go over things, so I hope it's is not as bad as I think it is, but I will see you all on the next vlog, and here is the mix.
You are now entering the Powerverse.
It's a German beer. It's obviously the best. Who knows what is going to happen to YouTube in 10 years. That's why I've been kind of doing like these backup plans, doing things behind the scenes, and investing. That's one of my things that I love so very much and very passionate about. It's just really fun to kind of see how the market goes and see what your picks, and I love day trading. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, then I quit as your son.
No, I'm not too much into drinking anymore. I find it when you solo cruise, you're trying to make conversation with pretty much anybody. I'm like, hello! I'm very, like, it's weird.
It's okay. I want everybody like you currently watching right now who loves what I do, loves anything I do, loves anything I do. Just something to think about.
Douche.
It's not that serious.
This has opened up kind of, you know, semi-big news for Disney News these days, but it's making way for about 2 months. Then Community Core actually opens on up. I believe June 10th is going to be that date where we're going to see all this open. And June 10th is most likely going to happen. Disney wouldn't make that date unless it's pretty much going to happen. Disney wouldn't make that date unless it's pretty much going to happen.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. They cut the grass today. I have someone to take care of my lawn, even though I feel like I could do it myself. Maybe one day I will. And oh my gosh, did they get these all dirty? This is some good pizza.
It's some num-nums.
Obviously no one's reading that much. And then of course there's just one request I feel like I have to say. Just please don't show up at my house, guys. Just respect my privacy, and just respect my privacy, and take it with a grain of sorrow.
I didn't know what else to do, so I got a drink.
7 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets.
Oh, time out! Time out! One more thing to talk about here. Talk about here. No one's forcing you to stay here. It's a thieves kind of day, right? There's 100 thieves. And I also haven't worn this shirt in a while. I feel like I look good for the doctor. I ate a lot of the skin off the chicken. You need the chicken for the dish?
Solo, come to Coco. Let's do it. We gotta drink Alabama. I'm gonna get a lovely Long Island. I think it's gonna be my only drink today. I wouldn't say that actually. Like, you guys know I'm not too much into drinking anymore.